Welcome to Living Your Life Well Planned. This is the 80/20 365 success system invented by Adam Vincent Gilmer. Welcome to episode 36. I'm Gene Velitis. I'm your host. Make sure you have your daily planner. We have people listening internationally, globally, all over the world. Some people are listening to this because it's daytime. Some people are sleeping and they'll be getting up and listening to it in the morning. So hello to people in Italy, the Philippines, the United Kingdom, Ghana, in Africa, the United States, almost 50 states now, in Canada, over 3 different provinces, and I'm probably forgetting some of the other countries. It's great to have you here. On episode 36, you may have heard of these things before, maybe not, but you know what? It's a very, very important aspect of both your personal life and also your professional life. Adam, we want to talk today about 2 things. First of all, networking, why it's important. And then secondly, something I have been doing for a long, long time. They're called mastermind groups. They don't necessarily last all that long. Some go on for years and years, but both are certainly beneficial. Networking and mastermind groups. Adam.
All right. Good morning. Good evening. Good to be back again. Mastermind groups. I think everybody remembers this at school. You started to develop these when you first start going to school. You're not sure who your friends are going to be, right? And then what ends up happening, break time comes up, and maybe there's a soccer ball, maybe there's, a swing set, maybe whatever. It's recess, okay? And hey, I'm going to go on the swing, but other kids want to go on the swing too. And what starts to happen, or the teacher throws a ball in, or what have you. What starts to happen, you're going to sit down and have lunch with some friends. It's lunchtime, okay? And as a young kid, what happens is that's the first formation of mastermind. Now, it's early, so as you can change your masterminds into being. But the point is, you start gravitating to these different cliques of people and individuals. And for most of us, it's our first mastermind groups and teams are like our family. Right? Mom, dad, brother, sister. That's the first, but then you start to grow. There's other play dates and the kids play well together. Well, people start hanging out and there's like-mindedness there. And that's how it all begins. But we're not in kindergarten anymore. In fact, Jim Rohn says that's why they make second grade desks and chairs so small. So you can't fit back into them. So you got to grow. And that comes down to, who are you listening to? Who are the people that you put trust into? Who are the people that you believe in? Who are the people that are going to give you amazing feedback? Who are the people that will tell you you're an idiot for doing that? Who are the people that are still going to love you for being an idiot? Okay, and say, hey man, and then and you gotta surround yourself with, if you want to be successful in life. And listen, success in life it comes in many forms, okay? But the majority of people tend to put it on earnings, okay? And I understand why. Money allows you to buy a lot of stuff and do things and help and, fixes problems, okay? Or makes problems worse. But who are the people that you can associate with on purpose to have a united consciousness to say, let's go do some great things together. And the mastermind group and team, every company, usually the bigger ones, what have you, end up having a board, right? And the board is a selected group that's going to be in charge of financial control. Hey, what's the ultimate marketing strategy? Who are we hiring? Where we're going to go? Who we're aligned with? Who else can we introduce you to? And when somebody says, hey, I'm on the board for a company, the company has trusted your brain trust of what value you're bringing to the deal, and they make you part of that mastermind group. It doesn't have to be a company. It can be you right now. If you're listening to this show, who the people are like and trust. Okay. You also know the people that will give you direct, honest feedback. You also know the people that would tell you, hey, if you want to run an idea by them, before I do it, I want to run this idea by you because I know, like, and trust you. And people get into relationships, people fall in love, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So
Yep.
that's the, I went from early formation to, and just speeding up a little bit, to who are you hanging around? And the reasons why you want to hang around great people, people who are getting things done, people that hold you accountable, people that will get in your face. That's a mistake. Don't who have ethics. Okay, it ends up being that these people end up shaping and bumping you towards your future. And Dan Penna, one of the other gentlemen I follow online, it's how I set the goal to work towards my first 100 million. Okay. He expanded that thinking. I'm like, man, damn, that's a good idea. And I made it my own. So, I'm giving him homage, but at the same time, that's my idea now. I'd like, thanks for giving it to me, Dan. But at the end of the day, who's your brain trust? Who are the people that you can put some things into? And then if you don't have one of these mastermind groups, good time to start.
Mm-hmm. When I think of mastermind groups, I go back to the beginning in my career in network marketing. And I joined a company because my wife had an incredible product experience, which is a good way for a lot of people to join. You're a customer, you have a product experience, and because it's so good, you want to share it with other people. And that's how you develop these multiple sources of income that we talked about back on episode 33. When I joined this company, you know what? University education was doing very, very well. I'd never even heard of a mastermind group. And these guys sat me down and they said, well, you're starting with this company and it's the 30th of the month and it's going to be the first next month. And, what you should aim for is this particular position. You should try to attract these number of people into your business. And you want to hit what's called the 64K club. So I'm dating myself now because 64K was a lot of volume back then. It certainly isn't now. But here's what the mastermind group did. These 5 guys got together with me and I asked them a lot of questions. They gave me a lot of answers. And they said, and here's the word that will stick in my head forever, we're going to make you accountable. And every morning at 9 o'clock, we had a little phone call. It was 10 minutes long. And they said, what are you doing towards your goal? And I told them, and they would say, well, we suggest you do this and this. And how did it work out with that person? And these guys literally held my hand for the entire month. And not only did I reach the position they had hoped I reached, I went 3 above it. And I joined the 64K club twice in 1 month. And it was because I had guidance and direction, but mainly it was that accountability. Because if I went to bed knowing that what I committed to at 9 o'clock in the morning wasn't complete by the time I put my head on my pillow, I would hear it the next day in the call. And it forced me into better work habits. And I mean, imagine that. I mean, I was a guy in my mid 30s. I have a successful career, university education. I'd never even heard of this. I mean, the accountability in a mastermind group, how phenomenal, how exciting that, but how scary too, which is another reason why I like it.
Well, you just made me think of SEAL Team 6, right? Why do they have special forces? And why are the special forces not all the forces? Okay, you get a select group of people that have skills, as you said, to hold you accountable. And then just like any team, a team is only as good as each person's individual effort. Okay, so let's go to basketball for a second. And I know we lost Kobe a year ago. Actually, it's so funny. Not funny, just a moment of thought for me. Is I was in Russia. We were acquiring a Russian direct sales company, and I got the ping on the phone that Kobe's chopper had gone down and all the stuff that happened. And it's a crazy moment, right? And you look back at this at his life and you say, okay, what made him great? Shaquille O'Neal said that Kobe pushed him, and they fought. Okay, like they're on the same team. They argued, fought, but the accountability. And funny thing is, Kobe says to Shaq, "Hey Shaq, you could be better than me. You just don't have the work ethic." Now, I want you to, like, can you imagine Shaq's like a freaking mountain? Okay. But they're part of a team, and each one of them brought their A game and showed up. I watched this other interview with Kobe, and he said there were days where he had a temperature, he didn't want to play, he was throwing up in the locker room, but he knew he had, not only was the team counting on him, but he knew that in order for the team to be great, he needed to show up, even though he wasn't feeling 100%. So, take a look at all those coaches, take a look at The Rock, take a look at all these amazing examples. And then, think about you as the listener here, listening to our show here today. How can you start a mastermind team? How can you be part of a mastermind team? Who would you want to be on that team? Who would you ask to be part of it? Which people do you know, like, trust, respect? Which people give you direct, honest feedback? I think we talked about that in like episode 3 or 4 about making sure that you get something, you have an accountability partner. It's a big deal. It's great when somebody holds you accountable. Why do you think people are trainers or they're working out, but they have a trainer? Why do you think Kobe had a coach? Why do you think the teams, all the major teams, have coaches? The coach isn't the best player on the team. He's just pointing out little bumps and things in order to allow that group to come up. And it reminds me of, I travel a lot in planes, not lately, but I was always, I don't know how to fly a plane. I mean, I've flown a plane, but I'm not licensed, meaning that, I've been on a private plane. I took control for a little bit. That's it. But I asked the pilot, I said, how do you know you're going to make it to that destination? What's the plan? He goes, well, we file a flight plan. Okay. We file a life plan. Okay. Yep. You get it going. And then he said, Michael said, he says, we once they've taken off, and they got the coordinates and they're flying, they every now and then they have to readjust the plane. I was like, what are you talking about? You put in the coordinates? He says, no, listen, the wind and, the turbulence and what have you knocks us off course. I was like, what do you mean knocks you off course? Like, no, this is what happens. They have to readjust. Pilot, co-pilot. Wow, what a concept. Who is your co-pilot? If you're piloting your life, who's your co-pilot? And then they finally make it to their destination. But they've had to make hundreds, sometimes more than that, small little changes. Okay, like little, and why? Because their mastermind group really is, yes, the co-pilot and the people on the plane, but also the instruments that are giving them feedback. And the people are, yes, the instrument will give you feedback. If you keep going off course for a long time, I'm telling you what, the co-pilot is going to say, hey, buddy, you're off course. They're going to pull you back in. This is what happens. And so you've got to have, if you want to start a mastermind team, be part of a mastermind team, be part of several, like I am, like Gene is. Become part of, become an important piece to make somebody else's life rock and roll or company happen. And great things will take place. The universe is a wonderful thing. The more, there's two ways to live. You can live with complete negativity, or you can live with, let's make it positive. And the more positive stuff that you put out there, guess what the universe does to you? It throws it back at you. It actually throws more back at you. And that's what, there was the movie The Secret, and it's the same thing. What you got to do is be conscious about what's going on around you. The other day, actually, I was hooking up this microphone, and Derek, who's part of the background here for us, and your team, he came over here wired at the mic, and I got some new project that I'm putting together, and he goes to me, he goes, well, it's just something to keep you even busier. but the beautiful thing is, the answer is, yeah, it's going to be busy, but it's an amazing idea. might be my best one ever. Don't know. We're just in development stages. We're in planning stages. The business plan is sitting over there on my other chair. It's a binder with the plan in it. And to the people listening, you know, the reason why we tell you to go get the planner and get serious is because you're going to get to a place where you can have, you know, here's the planner, right? And then you can have your purpose statement. This one's blank. This is like what, when you order them, this is what they look like. Okay. Then you got your 5-year, 60-month plan, right? And then you go to the monthly plan and then into the daily sheets. Okay. And you know what's really great? I know that once you get this and get started and you get on a plan, you'll end up creating a mastermind group. You'll get so much from this that you'll want to share it with somebody else. And that person's going to be like a like-minded person, and they come together and they'll get on the system. And then now you've got, imagine this, 2 people planned, organized, together, working, making things happen, bringing value to the table. You might get a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th. You know, in my direct sales business, one of the biggest questions I'm asked on stage, in person, at dinners, background meetings, whatever, how many people did you personally introduce to the business? 223. So now I could do two. I don't say I stopped. It's just that now the groups are so big that I'm working with other people's groups and teams, and it's a full-time piece making that happen. But I want you to understand how many people, how many groups and teams that look up to me as being a person on their mastermind team. And people say to me, "Oh, you know, you're so fortunate to make millions and millions and millions of dollars." I'm like, okay, well, yeah, there's accountability. Okay. The other day I jumped on a call to, let me see, Bangladesh, India, Israel, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Russia, Germany, France, Spain, Portugal, Buenos Aires, Argentina, Latin America, Mexico, okay, Australia. Okay, there you go. That's my work week. And people say, "Gee whiz, you're so lucky," but like they don't get to see the doing of the work. Now, if you were hanging out in my office every single day, and my phone goes off, or the FaceTime call, or it's a WhatsApp call, or a whatever that new one is, or whatever, you know, there's all these new apps that you have to get, and I'm being invited to be part of something. People say, "Hey, do you have a schedule? Can you talk to this person?" I'm not saying that I'm the greatest. What I'm trying to tell you is that I'm busy helping a lot of people. And that energy is going out, and it's positive. Let's go do it energy, not like, you know, negative. Oh, I can't be done energy. Actually, there's very few times I say, you know, I can't be done. It's not my thinking.
A mastermind group, it's something you really have to get into your life. Very quickly, before we end this episode, can you just tell everybody the importance of networking? Because networking is different from a mastermind group. But I know that in my career in the direct selling industry, I work for so many companies. I know so many people that I can call on these people for a mastermind, or to ask a question, to find out trends.
So, you know, I was just up at a friend's house, and I said, I go up to my buddy's house maybe once every week, maybe 3 times a month, depending on family and whatever is going on, holidays, what have you. And you know what we do? It's not just him and I. It's 4 or 5 other people. And by the way, okay, so we may have a cognac and a Grand Marnier and a few cigars. But let me tell you the value of those 4, 5, 6 hours together. First of all, we're not sitting at a square table, we're sitting at a round table. And the teams were, and there's multiple businesses, okay? It's not like one business. There's multiple businesses, and there's a problem and there's a solution. There's a problem and we're all giving our best advice, almost like, you know, must have been what like Socrates and Plato and what he used to do. I mean, they used to, you know, philosophize, okay? And we sit around and we talk about things, and then somebody will say, you know, that's a terrible idea. Okay, and we flush it. It's game over. We won't do that one anymore. And we're looking for new stuff. That's part of, I just said mastermind team, but let's talk about networking for 1 second. I was over at our friend's house, and in come these 2 new guys looking for some business development. And they happen to be big credit card processors, okay? which is great for my industry and probably your industry and other people listening in right now. Never met them before. Came in, they're networking. They decided to stop by and come and meet and greet and shake hands. Okay. Have a mind meld for a few minutes and sit down and talk about what they're doing, where their business is going, what have you. And you know what we're thinking? How can we create value? And the beautiful thing about that is we've done zero business. No, we haven't transacted a single transaction with that new group. This just happened. Okay. But you know what, Gene? If I wasn't there, if I didn't make the meeting, if I wasn't there to hang out, be a friend, be a pal, live up to the accountability, show up, talk, blah, 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 I wouldn't have got to meet these amazing people. I looked them up online. They gave me the cards. I did some research. I'm like, man, they got a $1 billion processing deal.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is we can bring them business and vice versa. We can make money together. Now, when I say bring them business, we can bring them a book of business to say, here's this company, that company, here's how we can, work together. What's the power of that? The power of that, to answer your question, is it allows your brain to work, okay? And allows you to bring the best of you to the table. And that's the beautiful thing. You've got to be able to network. And then listen, sometimes we've done these meetings where a great person's there and we finally figure out we can't do anything. Like there's no business. But you know what we do? We don't flush the relationship, because you never know when that little puzzle because it wasn't working out for what we were doing, but when that little puzzle fits into somebody else's thing 3 months down the road or a year down the road, say, hey, listen, I know that guy. Let me look at his phone number. Hey, remember meeting? And you're connecting. And the value of connecting is, it's like how we got together and all the crazy traveling that we've done, Gene, up and down the freeway and infomercials and all this other crazy stuff we've done. Like it's what makes what makes life bearable. You got to network.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to network, and we highly recommend you set up your mastermind group as well. Fantastic episode, Adam. I thank you very much for it. Remember, get your daily planner. It's something you need. You can order it online right now, 8020365.com, and you'll use it for the rest of your life. Thanks, Adam. We'll see you next time, coming up here on episode 37. Join us or go right to episode 37 right now. For Adam Vincent Gilmer and Living Your Life Well Planned, the 8020-365 system, I'm Gene Velitis.